Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue.
I couldn't help myself. Everybody's stuck in quarantine and watching The Tiger King. Well, we got a little fun video for you today, something a little out of the ordinary because it deals with kitty cats. We have a community cat conundrum happening in our neighborhood. It's springtime, lots of cats are out in heat, and in our neighborhood in particular, there's a bit of an overpopulation problem. We also have Blue Ivy, who I'm sure you've seen in some of my videos, who's not particularly fond of cats or kittens and doesn't discriminate when going after them. So to kind of do our part in the neighborhood and help bring down the overflow of cats here, we're going to trap some for the local TNR surgery facilities so that they can spay and neuter them and also get them vaccinated so they're not likely to help spread disease in the area. Cats do carry a number of diseases. The most important one that we need to be aware of is rabies, of course. So it's good to get them in, get them vaccinated, and get them protected. So we're in my backyard, and I put this trap away from the house, away from where the dogs are gonna be, so that they're more likely to go in it and explore where the food is. I've got this shed back here, and they really like to get under it, and we've had a couple of litters that have happened underneath of it. So this is a popular spot. This is a balance trap, so I flattened out the area. You can see kind of underneath of it, I did clear out some space a little bit so that it doesn't get accidentally off balance and the door closes on it. A couple of different places that you can get traps. Sometimes local animal care and control facilities have them. Ours currently does not, so I grabbed these from the Humane Society of Charlotte. They let us borrow some of these traps, and then we're gonna take the kitties into another spay neuter to get done. So if you like this kind of video, by the way, please let me know by hitting that like button. It really helps out a lot. And go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell notification for more crazy fun videos just like it. All right, let me show you how to set this thing up. It's really easy. So we got the bait. Some fancy feast right here.
Good taste is easy to recognize in music, fine art, and of course, the finest food.
So you've got a rear door and a front door. The rear door is by the trap. So this is where we're gonna put the food in. So for this, it has a lock system that's super simple. You just pull this up and over, and it's a guillotine. This makes getting them in and out really, really easy. We're gonna put the food in the very back by this trip plate, which is where they're gonna go to trip the door to fall shut. So we want the food all the way in the back, and then we wanna make sure we lock this back in place so that they don't get into it. Then to set the trigger system up, it's super easy. We just slide these two rings simultaneously up here, and then pull the door up. And while you're holding the door up, you wanna get this so it's perpendicular or vertical, and then the trip wire bar just goes right in front of it like so and holds it very delicately in place. So they're just perpendicular to one another. And I'm just gonna clear a little bit more area for our kitty friends and leave it just like that. So the kitty cats go in, hit the trip plate when they go for the food, and the door comes down. Easy enough. We've only had our trap out for probably about an hour, and we've already heard some fussing and noise back there, so chances are we've probably already trapped one of the feral cats. So I'm gonna grab a pair of nice tough gloves here. Some hospitals have these for cats that are difficult to handle. These are actually my hawk gloves that I use for transporting raptors to and from the Raptor Center when I volunteer with them. So just nice sturdy gloves because we don't want to get our fingers anywhere near a feral cat. So I'm gonna go outside and see if we actually caught one. Go slow, yep, there's a kitty in there. These guys aren't used to human contact, so I'm gonna try really hard not to completely stress it out when I approach it. Hey kitty, it's all right. It's all right. Yep, there's one in the trap. So stressed about being caught, didn't even eat the food that was bait. So we don't know if this is a male or a female yet. And I've got a spay neuter clinic that's actually gonna take care of the spay and neuter of these kitties, whether they're male or female, but we weren't able to get an appointment for a couple of days, so I actually have to transfer this kitty out of the trap and into something else to makeshift so we can feed and water it in the meantime. Typically, I would never do that. I would take the trap straight to the hospital and let them take care of it before releasing them back. But don't have that luxury with this kitty, so I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it into my garage for right now, just until I can get a space set up in the house. It's getting warm outside, so I definitely wouldn't recommend keeping any kitties if you do decide to trap some in your community as well in a garage because it gets way too hot, way too fast. So, all right, without further ado, so don't stress this kitty out anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and take him in. just finished getting some crates prepped for our kitties. I've got this one's crate all ready to go, just some temporary housing until we can get this cat to the vet. I'm keeping him a safe distance because I don't want a paw to, of course, reach out and scratch any parts of me. It's important for you to wear protective gear when you're handling feral animals because you don't know their vaccine status. So this cat in particular doesn't have a notched ear, which tells me it hasn't been altered and therefore probably hasn't ever been vaccinated. And for a community or a feral cat, that's the difference between life and death for these little guys. If they happen to scratch or bite you, they'll simply euthanize them instead of spay, neuter, or put them back into the wild where they belong. So I just brought with me a little blanket that I'm actually going to put over the crate once I get him in. I use a feline pheromone called Feel Away Classic. It just helps kind of calm them a little bit. Some cats it works great with, some not so much, but it's always just a little extra step to try to help alleviate some stress because I really don't want to stress these cats out too much. I'm going to wait to spray it until my kitty's been transferred, but that should help with that. So one thing I want to mention is I'm going to transfer this cat into another carrier, and I have equipment. I'm actually rabies vaccinated already, but I would never ever recommend moving a feral cat into a crate. I would only trap these kitties if you can actually take them straight to spay neuter, but I've handled feral cats frequently on and off. I've worked for spay neuter clinics before in trapping and altering and vaccinating them, so I do have experience with this, so please don't try this at home. So this little kitty's just going to stay with us for the next couple of days until we can get her or him over to surgery. But I'm going to stay out of this room as much as possible. I'm only going to come in and out for basic and quick feeding. This isn't the type of cat that, you know, wants to be friends with people. It's a wild cat, so I'm not going to try to befriend it or stress it out even more, because that's really what will happen if I try to be close with this cat. Most people are like, oh, it's okay, we can be friends. They really don't want to be your friends. So limited exposure, just like any other wild animal. I'm just going to come in, do a little bit of quick cleaning and quick feeding, and get out so I don't stress this animal out, especially before they go in for a surgery. And that's that. So thanks for watching me do something a little bit different this time around with kitties instead of dogs, and helping do our part as good neighbors in the community to kind of decrease the overpopulation problem that we're currently seeing and the disease problem amongst feral and community cats.